Hey, I'm Dino Battalana with Dino Chevy Only, beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. I'm down here at Switches. I'm checking out Joey's sick bourbon of the fleet of trucks that he has. I understand that you can see Joey's trucks from space, by the way. Suburban's finally getting the floor in there. It's looking pretty sick. I gotta tell you, that truck is pretty unique. All the exhaust, everything they got in there, they snaked all that stuff in there. That's a tough truck to build. So the guys are killing it out here on the sheet metal. And those got some really big hoop in the back, so that's a tough truck to get done, but it's looking pretty sick, that's for sure. And then of course we got my buddy Mike, it's Ford, which, you know, man, I can't hate on it, but I'm not touching it. It's a pretty sick truck. I mean, the patina on that truck is on point. And he put a nice bullet in it, that Coyote motor, so it ought to be able to keep up with some Chevy trucks, I'm not sure, but we're gonna think that is. But the work being done to it is pretty sick, and we like old Mike P. He's a bad mother. I'm glad to see there's only one Ford in here. And that's Mike's.
Hey, this is Jason down here at Switch Suspension, just working on Dino's Black Widow truck, or Black Widow 3000 as some of us like to call it. It had a fluid leak of some sort and didn't know exactly what it was. Put it up in the air, thinking maybe it was power steering, something along those lines. Found that the transmission cooler is leaking. Turned out to be a damaged O-ring. Most likely from install, got pinched and just finally gave out.
Say that.
Yes, poop occurs. That's a good one. So yeah, the O-ring just got pinched, and finally, due to some time, gave out, stopped holding the fluid and let go. So yeah, it's just like a radiator. Actually, this one, some do, some don't, but this one in particular has 2 electric fans on it that are triggered by a thermal switch, just like a normal electric fan, but it measures the transmission temperature. Just got to swap out the O-ring to the new ones. Went down to the store, bought a couple of these. According to Seth, now I own part of the company. So, you know, my 74 cents investment got me a portion of the company. So watch out. Now just gonna get the fittings back in there, get this thing cleaned up, and hopefully get him out there doing burnouts. I've kind of got a soft spot for step sides. Well, I have a 63 step side. Never been the biggest square body fan, but this one kind of grew on me over the time of working on it. Into the bargain,
okay, couple of things.
Got the Cameron's truck over at Cordis, got the dyno tune done. Nick D tuned it for us.
The interior, you like it?
Relatively aggressive cam.
Okay.
With a relatively tight converter. Hey Jason, hang on a second.
You want to hang?
Yeah, just because I'm looking at the IAC counts and they dropped after it warmed up.
Oh,
We're
okay.
probably going to have to put a hole in the throttle body because we cannot get enough airflow
I see.
in it idle.
First problem of the day is that our combination of parts, the fast throttle body, the cam, and the stall converter are not a happy team right now.
Needs a looser converter or a smaller cam?
So Jason's drilling out a hole in the throttle body to try to get it to idle better.
Oh, we met up with Jason Bowman, Big Ten Garage. He was there, just happened to be over at Cordis at the same time.
And that's where we're going to start. And hopefully that helps the problem, if not fixes it. And then we'll see what else we get into.
So what you want to do when you're tuning your LS motor is you want to introduce chips into the intake. Somebody's fired first day on the filming job. Yeah, what's up? You Corvette guys don't know about that.
What's his name did tell us, Mr. I'm God or whatever. He told us about it, but he didn't have a solution. He just said it didn't work. Well, guess what? Go a fucking hole.
Those things don't have a smooth transition through them either, so they have that little squared off section and they just howl like that.
So right now he's just strapping the truck down. So put straps front and back, that way the truck stays put as they're running it on the dyno. It's do or die right now. Either shit hits the fan or shit goes real well. There's no in between. either you're not going to sleep tonight or you sleep well tonight, you know. This will be the first time it's really seen high RPMs carried out. It's really going to be the first time the truck's seen high speed. So if he runs it in third gear, you're talking excess of 100 miles an hour. The truck's going on that dyno. So it's got to stay put, it's got to stay balanced.
So Nick D basically tunes everything in town. All the LS swap, all the late model stuff. What he really likes is the late model stuff. LS, LT, factory configuration. We're actually kind of like the bastard childs that bring him all the swaps, which they don't necessarily like, but they put up with us because, you know, basically we do a good job.
So I was thinking my goal with that motor would be like 360 in second gear. It's about super happy with that. Yeah.
That's good.
Didn't put down the numbers we expected. There's a little bit of a issue with the correlation of parts on the motor. Got it back here, and now we're just business as usual.
What's up, Joey Gonzalez here. Came up to switch suspension today. Check out my 76 crew cab, Pepe Le Crew. We're about to get cranking on it here. Starting to look like Christmas. This is a real engine, in case you guys are wondering. I'm super stoked. It's already a bitchin' looking truck, and I'm really happy to be working with Seth and his team to get this thing a driver and full show quality truck. So we're running intro wheels, bare brakes, AccuWear, a bunch of bitchin' parts from Holly, and a bunch of stuff for the switch suspension. It's gonna be bitchin'. Kind of balance it in there. Oh, there you go. And I'm super stoked to be working with Seth and his team to get it a bitchin' driving show truck, and I'm just super happy.
Hey guys, James here at Switch Suspension. Today we're going to go over the AccuAir E-Level and kind of some of the components and its operation. AccuAir always has the best packaging. It's the first thing you notice when you open it up. It's your manuals. AccuAir has great manuals as far as installation and operation. Very detailed as in how to install. And then as well, they send the operation manual as well as how to operate the system as far as programming and changing presets. That's your ECU and hardware. This will be your ECU for your entire system here. Nice plug and play, very nice unit. Got your power harness with your fuses, all plug and play. Sensor harnesses. These are the wires that will actually be going from your ECU out to your wheels. Pressure switch. The pressure switch included with this system allows the ECU to know the pressure in the tank at all times. This allows it to turn the compressors off and on whenever it needs to provide the proper pressure for the vehicle. Sensor telemetry arms. These are the 4 arms that will connect to your control arms and axle. The E-Level system is a fully automated auto leveling system, meaning that once programmed, it will pick up upon starting of the vehicle. It will go to a select ride height. It has a higher ride height and a lower ride height available, and does all this automatically once it has been programmed. All the hardware is very nice from AccuAir. Sends you exactly what you need. AccuAir includes the hardware for each component bagged individually. It's very nice. You get your controller, your ECU, and then they do a real nice setup with the wheel hardware. You get 1 bag of hardware per sensor, per wheel, which has everything you need to install the sensor correctly. It's very nice how they lay this out with the 1, 2, and 3 for the sensor. Then you have your 4 sensors. Telemetry arm sensor does the travel of your vehicle from low to high. It comes with this neat clip from AccuAir, which allows you to set your maximum and minimum heights and then remove once the vehicle is under operation. This will attach to your frame, and then the other end attaches through one of the telemetry arms to your control arm or axle. depending on the configuration of the vehicle you're working on. All right, now let's take a look at your keypad. This is what actually allows you to control the unit. Comes with your USB harness. Again, the plug and play, very nice from the ECU. Always very nice bagged hardware. Let's take a look at the keypad here. This keypad is what allows you to not only set up but use the functions, the ride height settings that AccuAir has. Allows you your 3 preset height settings. Also allows you a front up and down, a rear up and down, and individual control, which is kind of nice. All your programming is done through here, as well as control of the system. Okay, we're going to take a look at some of the different keypad color options that are available. This one here would be the gray Cerakote. This one has all the same functions, but in the gray Cerakote finish. Oh, upside down, this would be your black Cerakote. This will be your keypad with your nickel finish. Once again, this is James at Switch Suspension, and this was an open box on the AccuAir E-Level system and the 4 different colors of keypads that are available for it.
I looked at the underside of the car. I have my bolts in an easy spot to get to, but I mean, it's crowded under there. It gets crowded quickly, so we want to keep air lines and wiring and everything. You want to drop those wires in a good spot and keep them away from exhaust. Keep them, air lines obviously can't go straight down and hit the frame where there's just minor amounts of real estate between the body and the chassis. You know, that'll put a kink in the line, so just make sure that when those wires are dropped, they're in a good spot that makes sense. The frame is going to protect all the wires and everything from the heat. If I drill here, I hit the gas tank. If I drill here, I hit the frame. So I'm going to go right there. And now I'm just making little tags. When I drop this in the trunk and bolt it down, I'll know right where to drill.
Hey, this is Rob from Drew Brothers Customs in Chandler, and I'm over here at Switch Suspension picking up one of these sweet Envo tanks for a project we got going on in the shop right now. I always enjoy when I get a chance to leave the shop to go pick up parts or run errands, and I take every opportunity I can to stop into the shops that are actually building projects currently. Things change a lot in the industry, and so it's interesting to see who's doing what and what products they're using, what stuff seems to work and what doesn't. That kind of feedback from other builders is always tremendously valuable to me. So this 61 here belongs to a guy named Mike Porter. Ford produced these trucks from 61 to 63, and they had a lot of trouble with them as trucks for utilitarian purposes, but that made them super rare, and they're such a cool vehicle that's getting some popularity now. I always like to see who's building them and how they're building them. I really like the way that they're putting this thing together. He's going with Ford power with the new Coyote motor. Looks like TCI suspension front and back. Those guys make really good products. It's a great value for the money, and the installs go together really nice, and when they're finished they look great and ride great. So I really like what I'm seeing with this one. This one's cool. I can't wait to see it done. Obviously the patina is great, so I hope that he's going to leave it like this. I certainly wouldn't change a thing about the exterior. I think it looks fantastic, and I'm still a fan, even though paint and body is what we do. If we've got one that nature did a nice job on, I like to see it stay that way.
This fucker smells like gas so bad.
The red up on this corner is flashing.
You're not even close to out of range right now. Are you riding the front locked up or something?
I did for it, not locked up. I came down a little bit.
Key off, key on. Is the bushings in the shocks, you know, are made of rubber. So as you get so much pressure on the bag and you hit a bump, it wants to rip that shock apart, and then now it's out of range. So I might not have just given it enough cushion, but it's not broken. It's fine.
No, when I saw it, I was like, fuck.
Nah, come on now. So right now we're heading over to Dixon Flannel. We just finished up the 64 Impala for Danny. So technically the car's not finished. We typically don't present a car that's not been once, twice, 3 over to the customer. But he's got some photo shoot or something going today and he wanted the car to be there. So we know the car's roadworthy, we know it's safe, but we're not confident enough to the point to say, hey, here's your keys, go beat the shit out of it. So we'll let him take it. He can cruise it around this and that, and then we'll bring it back to the shop and give it its once over. So Seth drove the Impala over to Dixon Flannel yesterday in order just to show it to Danny, you know, as we're still making changes and kind of get some feedback from him. Right away we pulled up, you know, and laid it out, went inside and grabbed Danny. He ended up coming out, he grabbed Justin, man, he got the whole crew out there, so they had the whole shop out checking out the car, and they're there, and they're like, yeah, pop the trunk, we want to see what this AccuAir stuff looks like, you know, and it's like, we pop the trunk, and there's not much to look at, dude. There's like a tank, and one dude's like, where's the rest of the stuff? Where's your compressors? Where's your valve? And it's like, no, dude, it's all built into the tank, you know? He's like, dude, is the compressor going to turn on? No, it's on. You can't hear it. It's that quiet. It's on.
Are you ready for the 57 and just come over and do it real quick?
The best part of the whole day, man, the car made it there, it made it back, and it didn't blow up. That's always a plus, right? So this is an absolute do not ever do is before you've given the vehicle a once over, let the customer drive it, give him the keys, but we feel good about it. He's gonna cruise it around a little bit. They went for a little cruise, which was kind of cool too, because then you could say, hey, you know, you want to make any changes to the car, you know, that we could dial in the shocks, we could change ride heights, you know, make it his car. So he was like, you know what, let's do this. Let's make level 3 on the AccuAir E-level. Let's make it Cali style. So I hit level 3, the front raises up, the ass drops, you know, and that's where he wants to roll it at. So it's like, yeah, that's his style. That's what he wants. We made it his, you know. Overall, the trip to Dixon Flannel and back yesterday went good. So we use Ride Tech because it works, dude. Like, there's not a lot of thinking that has to go into it. The product's just great. It bolts on for the most part, and it works good. So we got a little tweaking to the shocks just to make the car ride and handle a little bit better, but other than that, it's money. The AccuAir is working perfectly like it should. So the only thing we're really gonna do on the car now is we're gonna add the fender skirts in the back, and then we're also gonna put some seatbelts in it. You know, Danny's got some kids, he wants to roll it with his family and his boys, and seatbelts nowadays are necessary, so you gotta put those in there. So we're gonna add those, and it should be good. So this truck is square body 73, late model front clip, 24s all the way around, 24 15s in the back, so Pirelli 405s out back. It's basically frame up restoration on air ride, so it's not all cut up crazy, but it's on air. Ride Tech, strong arms. It's taken a lot to get this truck on the road. Unfortunately, man, the guy that owned it, this truck sat forever, like 95% complete, but not on the road. And even in Arizona, man, you wouldn't believe just, for example, it had steel fuel lines. They were nicely routed, nicely done, but they were all rusted out. Like the inside of the fuel line was rusted because it sat for years and years and years without any fuel in them or anything in the tank. So fuel tank was rusted out, although it was brand new at the time. We got, when we started building this one, we got a guy, Jason Campbell, on board, and man, he's on it with the fabrication. So he built a badass exhaust for this truck, all mandrel bent from front to back. He's done a lot of the rework in the back, the fabrication involved to fit the tires. And then, you know, we have another guy, Robbie, too, and he's been a smaller part of this build, but still a very important part. And man, he's helped get the doors together, get like all the meticulous little fine details of the interior, putting the windows in, making them work right, putting the doors together, putting the dash together. So, you know, collectively as a team, we've been able to piece this thing together finally. This truck has been, so funny enough, this truck has been bagged 5 times now before it has ever hit the road.
Hey guys, I'm Del from Delmo's Speed and Custom up in Prescott. I just want to say I've been doing business with Seth for a lot of years, and he's expanded into a new shop here. Him and the guys are doing incredible work, man, and they stock AccuAir, they stock Magahis, pretty much everything you need in the Phoenix area, or they will ship nationwide. So it's really cool having them so close. Prices are great, and they always seem to have stuff in stock. So check them out if you can. Switch Suspension.
Just rolling up some hose for a customer. He wants 50 feet and he wants it tomorrow. So we got to pack it up real tight and we need to get it out to him today.
Yeah, boy. So we were talking a little bit about Bill from Extensive and his whole crew, and I really wanted to go out to meet him this year. I know they're right around the corner from when we stayed, but I didn't get a chance to get out there this year. But man, Bill, this year you guys got to come out to the Get Down. It would be an amazing honor for you guys to come out, be our guest, set up a booth. I think a lot of people out here would dig seeing you guys. That'd be a big deal. That'd be a really big deal. So come out, dude. Bring them all. Bring all anything you want. All the other stuff you have is cool.
Bacon. We having bacon? Sweet. I like bacon.